A mortgage is a huge commitment. Getting it wrong can end up costing you hundreds of pounds more per month. That's why many people prefer to choose a mortgage broker. Hi, I'm Barry Clark, a broker here at Mortgage Monster. So I'm going to give you a few reasons why you might want to choose a broker over a bank. Before we get started, I really appreciate it. If you'd like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to get all of the latest info and news straight from ourselves. These are reasons why you might want to choose a mortgage broker over maybe going direct to your bank or lender. So the first part of the journey is going to be understanding what you can borrow in the first place. This can vary hugely from lender to lender. We've seen differences of maybe upwards of between 80 and 100,000 pounds between different types of lenders, whether it be high street lenders or specialist lenders. So the amount that you can physically borrow in the first place is going to, vary hugely between lender to lender depending on your personal circumstances. Speaking to a broker, letting them understand your income, letting them understand all aspects of your income, such as if there was any child benefit or maintenance or any kind of bonuses, any overtime. All lenders will look at these in completely different ways. If you were a contractor, for example, or someone who's self-employed but might be on CIS vouchers, for example, each lender will look at these completely differently. So really, trying to make sure that you can get the most amount of buying power for your income is going to be absolutely key. It just means you won't have to move and move again. So going to a broker that can understand how a lender's going to understand all those moving parts of your income to really get you the most amount you possibly can. After knowing what it is that you can basically go up to, and us being fairly confident of that, we'll then get you all agreed in principles. That means we'll get a letter from a lender which is going to give you potentially the best deal, and that means you can go out shopping and give that to estate agents and the like. As I say, sometimes with a lender, they might not necessarily be able to, do a lot of that kind of pre-qualification, and it might mean that you end up with a figure that isn't quite correct in terms of, when you're going out and shopping for a property. So heaven forbid you eventually find a property, negotiate a price on it, find the property you absolutely love, go to put the application in just to find out suddenly that, there's something else which hasn't been taken into account. So sitting with a broker can really help you clarify where it is that you need to be at the front end. So the second really big reason to use a broker is to make sure that you can get the very, very best deal. So I've had a quick look at kind of different lenders that are available just to give you a bit of an idea. So getting you the very, very best deal that we can is going to be absolutely key. So I've done a bit of research, just a quick bit of research, and based on today's figures, which we borrow in, say for example, £250,000 with an 85%, 15% deposit, 85% loan to value over a 35-year term. The difference between the lowest high street lender in terms of total to pay versus the most expensive lender in terms of total to pay across a 5-year fixed rate, there's a difference of £15,000 over a 5-year fixed rate. That's equivalent to £250 a month. So if you just go to your bank, you don't know whether your bank's going to be one of the most expensive ones or one of the cheapest ones you can go to. The difference between high street lenders on what we've just done of over £15,000. So I definitely recommend that you use someone, say, independent, access to tons of lenders to really shop around for you. Over and above that, on this particular example just here, we could save the client another £2,000 on the cheapest high street lender by using a lender that isn't on the high street. In this particular example, getting the client a very, very best deal. So say in total, they could have saved themselves up to £17,000 across a 5-year fixed rate. So just over the first 5 years, save you £17,000 against you just going direct to your bank and not necessarily shopping around if your bank happens to be one of the more expensive lenders. So the thing that we can do, the thing we're brilliant at, is getting you the very best deal we possibly can and making sure you fit in that criteria and you fit in with that affordability. Another reason using a broker is they're probably much more readily available. So with kind of banks and high street lenders at the moment, they're very much shutting down, it's closing down a lot of their banks and branches. Maybe they might only be open for multiple points, maybe one or even 2 times a week. You might struggle to get an appointment in the evening. Well, practically wouldn't. You probably wouldn't get maybe an appointment at the weekend or a time that's not convenient for you. With ourselves, we'll work around you as much as we possibly can. Okay, we won't do a Sunday, but other than that, plus we're around kind of Monday to Saturday, we're around till 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. Later if need be. We're always on the telephone, so that means that getting hold of us is just going to be much, much easier. You want to sit down with someone face to face, whether that be across a desk, whether that be over Zoom or whatever else it is. We're trying to work in a time really that potentially if you're a couple, you can at least both be together, because there's nothing worse than trying to do something together and only one person's allowed to go to the appointment and because of the constraints of the lender or whatever else it is. So able to arrange a time where you can both come together means you're both going to get the information at the same time, both kind of understand it. I mean, you're not constantly going to be asking the other one, what happened there, what did he say, this sort of stuff. So finding someone that has time for you and time for you when you want to have it is absolutely really, really important. It's a really big decision that you're making. So having you in a relaxed, chilled out environment means that you can just ask all of the questions that you want to ask when you want to ask them at a pace that you want to ask them at. Whereas sometimes if you're squeezing to a time slot, you have to goes on into, they'll only have a certain amount of time for you. You might feel kind of rushed, maybe not have all of your questions answered, but definitely, flexibility is going to be absolutely key. It means that if there is something that does kind of, keep you awake and you're panicking or whatever else it is on a Friday afternoon, you won't have to wait till Monday to kind of get that answer. The main difference is, we'll try and make it as easy as we can for you. We understand that we put you, the client, first in everything that we do, and it means that we're able to just give you the information as and when you want it and where you want it, basically, which is absolutely fantastic. The other thing to bear in mind as well is that with the mortgage broker, we've been with you throughout the whole process. So, from your very first start going out shopping right the way time when you get your keys. We're not just interested in a mortgage as such as maybe, a bank or a lending institution might be. We understand that your end goal is actually to get into a home, a property, whether it be a flat. So we know no one wants to have a mortgage. You have a mortgage because it enables you to buy the property that you want to be able to buy. So we understand that the way that we help you doesn't just end, once you got your mortgage here, our job's done. We'll handhold you right the way through the process. We'll help you out with any jargon that you might have, even kind of, some legal jargon. Obviously, we can't give legal advice. We can maybe, help you understand different scenarios, such as, say, for example, if a property was undervalued, let's say, for example, there's a retention placed on the mortgage. Let's just say, there were potentially some legal issues with the property. You had to understand a little bit more, about the difference between leasehold and freehold and all these different bits and pieces. Any questions that you might have throughout the whole process, not just the mortgage process, means that we can go through those with you bit by bit and have you put them in a format with you that will hopefully know you'll understand. What you might find with a bank or lending institution is that, they're with you just for the mortgage part and that part only. Whereas for us, we know that our job doesn't actually end with just the mortgage. We understand your journey is not complete until you've actually moved into your new home. So for us, we want to make sure we're with you throughout the whole journey from start right the way through to finish. I think that's a major benefit of using a broker, because there will be times stuff's horrible, it's scary, maybe the estate agents are on you, maybe, there could be a couple of issues. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen all the good, we've seen the bad, we've definitely seen the ugly. So we can just handhold you and help you with all those questions and points that you need to kind of be handheld through. Ultimately, the best reason to choose a mortgage broker is get you the very best deal that you possibly can, get you the best scenario you possibly can, and making sure that really you save as much money as you can every single month. Because I'd much rather you have that money than the money goes into the pocket of the least competitive bank. We can handhold you through the whole process to make everything really hopefully a bit easier, a bit brighter for you, and make it a bit less pants. So it's important to do your research, find a broker that's going to keep your very best interest at heart. Thanks very much for watching. If you've got any other questions, please just drop us, comment, or send us over an email. We'll try to answer as much as we possibly can. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications for any future videos. Thank you very much.